Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do,
Just what to do, just what to do.
if what you're feeling is really true,
Is it really true? Is it really true?
just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Love's the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Geri Petito Show. Everyone and anyone who knows me knows I am the author of I'm Not an Addict, I'm Just an Ass. I'd rather be a smartass than a dumbass. Because, guys, 33 years ago, I was a dumbass. But today, 33 years later, through the grace of God, I can honestly say now I'm a smartass. And yes, the word ass is in the Bible at least 40 times, and it means donkey, and that's what I was. I'm saying all that to say this. There are a lot of people out there struggling with health, with addiction, even with recovery. I want everyone to know someone is listening. I'm a nutritional health coach. I'm a recovery coach. All my services to you are free. Please, please reach out. I'm also here if anyone needs prayer. Okay, I will pray with you. I will pray for you. If you think my book can help someone, because I sure do, you can go right to Simon & Schuster's bookstore, Archway Publishing, BAM, Amazon, Barnes & Noble. You can go to my website, www.geripetito.com. And please subscribe to the Geri Petito Show YouTube channel. And listen, if you truly, truly, truly cannot afford my book, please reach out to me about that as well. I'm here to help you. Before I introduce my incredible guests, I'd like to give a shout out to a few of my sponsors. First, I've got Stormin Norman Selden, 732-245-4777, www.storminnormanselden.com, booking dozens of attractions for concerts and performances on venues of all sizes. He's got from a 5 to 12-piece band, guys, and he came live in studio recently with his keyboard. He is a beast on the keyboards. What he's doing now is really incredible also. For all seniors out there, maybe if you're stuck at home or you just are bored, he's giving seniors lessons on the keyboards. So reach out to him. And a lot of people don't know this, but he helped get Larry Chance from the Earls started back in the day. The song Remember Then? Larry was like family to me. Rest in peace, Angel. Then we've got Ken Ryan and Linda Garofalo, The Way It Used to Be, singing songs from the 50s to the 80s, a tribute show to the greatest music and voices of all time. And Ken even does Elvis for me. Thank you very much. And a shout out to the two of them. They're two beautiful people. They do so many fundraisers for everyone. And then last but certainly not least, John Bishop, a.k.a. Johnny B., singer-songwriter, host of the Entertainment Luncheon South, a non-profit network created for the creative. He's also the partner in the Joey D. and Johnny B. Rockin' Oldies band. Him and his wife, Linny, put this luncheon together once a month. It's by invite only. It's only $20. You get a great lunch and you get great entertainment, and they don't keep a penny of it. So shout out to them. All right. So now I have a really cool guest here today, Victor Varricchio. Say hello.
How you doing? Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. So we're going to give everybody a treat in a little while. We have 4 of your songs, and I believe you've written all of them.
That's right.
Yep. Tell everyone a little bit about your career. When you were younger, let's go back a little bit. When did you start singing or playing instruments or any of that?
I got my first guitar at the age of 10. I wanted the guitar because I had a cousin who was in a band, and I listened to him play, and it just sparked something to me. I said, I got to learn how to do that. So that was 10 years old when I got my first guitar.
Okay, so it was just because your cousin played and you said, I have to learn that.
Yeah, he was very good. I watched him rehearse, and the music was really, it was inspiring to me. And my cousin's a phenomenal musician himself. So,
who's your cousin? Do we know him?
No, his name is Anthony Dinicola. But he was in. It was a pretty popular. In fact, I think Cyndi Lauper he has a joke that he says that Cyndi Lauper replaced me when I left. It was a group called Doc West.
Oh, okay. Did he ever get to meet her?
That I don't know. I didn't
Okay.
go that far,
That's
but
pretty cool.
he was the first guy that
Okay.
wanted me to know that I saw that I took an interest in music.
Okay. So then when did you realize you wanted to sing?
Uh, Probably when I saw Elvis in concert back in 1968, I think.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I saw him
How old were you in 68 when you got to see Elvis?
10 years old.
That's amazing. You got to see Elvis at 10 years old?
Yeah, in Madison Square Garden.
I wish my mother brought me when I was 10 because I was 16. I have the ticket framed in my Elvis poker room. I never got to see him. He died when she
Yeah,
finally
it
said
was
I
an
could
amazing
go.
show.
So tell us a little bit about your experience with Elvis at 10 years old and then you wanting to sing.
Well, I think it happened when I first saw him in one of his movies, and just the music was like kind of moving and everything. And I had a friend who lived around the corner from me, who was like a sister, and she comes over the house one day and says, I got a surprise. Her father picked up tickets to go see Elvis in concert, and so she actually took me to see the show. And it was me, her, and a couple of our parents, and I just was blown away. In fact, my mother was there and had binoculars, and I took the binoculars from her. I said, "Just give it to me for a second." Then I didn't want to give them back because I mean the music was phenomenal, and I mean he was just a very very charismatic person, and he just was probably my influence in the beginning.
Very cool. All right, so now give me some other names of who else influenced you.
Oh wow! Well, as I started getting a little older, then I found myself passionately loving doo-wop music.
Mm.
Um, uh, my favorites, I don't know if I want to say I had a particular favorite, but um, Johnny Maestro was one right at the top. I mean, I met him a couple of times, and what an awesome human being besides
Wow.
musician. Uh, I saw him at a show, and he actually signed a birthday card for me to give to my daughters. So I
Oh
mean,
my
you know,
gosh.
yeah, he invited us backstage to eat. I mean, who does that? And his voice is just like smooth as butter. I mean, and there was nothing that he did that I didn't enjoy. And Larry Chance is another one.
Yep.
Um, I don't want to ruin his name, but I'll say Tony P from the Fascinators, I believe. Yeah, he had that song, "Oh Rosemary."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so that's the kind of style. Those particular people. Dion was another one. Dion and the Belmonts. There's so many I can name, but those few, and it's just the songs were just they were songs.
Yeah.
You can understand the words. They had meaning. There were stories. So that's what I liked. I like stories. I like something that tells, you know, something more relevant than just a bunch of, excuse me, but garbage.
Right.
So
Right,
that's
right.
when I started getting into writing as well.
Okay, so now, okay, let's back up a minute. Now, you're 10 years old, you want a guitar. Your parents get you a guitar.
Mhm.
Did you have to take lessons?
They suggested it kind of not forcefully, but they said, "Well, you want the guitar, then you're going to have to learn how to play."
Okay.
And I did go for like 2 lessons and then quit. Why? Because again, I saw my cousin performing, and I'm learning E, A. I said, "No, no, no. I want to play. I don't want you to tell me the names of the strings." So unfortunately, instead of doing it the right way, I taught myself. And so yeah, but I had 2 lessons.
Okay,
That was it.
but you taught yourself. You're playing the guitar.
Yeah, but it's good to have the knowledge of how to read,
Okay.
the music as well.
So
So I don't.
what you're really saying, Victor, is you should listen to your parents when you're young.
Yeah, yeah, maybe so. I guess you're right.
Very good. Now, singing. You decide, Elvis, wow, I want to sing. You tell your parents, did you take singing lessons?
Again, I went for 1 lesson and quit. Yeah, yeah. You know what it is? I tell you what. Uh, they stood me in front of a mirror and had me put my fingers in my mouth and start going A-E-I-O or something like that. And I said, "Is this for real or what?" So I said, "Thank you, but this is not for me." And I didn't try and pursue it somewhere else. I don't know what they were saying. You have to open up this. You have to. It just. I don't want to go A-E-I-O-U. I want to get up there and sing a song.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I didn't take well today either. I went as
Okay.
far as them telling me because I'm deaf in one ear. So
Oh,
I didn't even know if I was going to be able to, sing for some reason. Maybe you got to, no, I had a stereo. I don't hear in stereo, so I don't know if that would be an issue. But they told me that I had pitch and tone and it wouldn't be a problem, but I just didn't go through with it. So again,
okay.
I
Well,
just,
that's determination. I mean, even being deaf in one ear and not doing the lessons, that's determination, Victor. So that's pretty cool. I got to give you that. All right.
thank you.
Now let's talk about songwriting. So when did that happen?
Okay, I can tell you when I wrote my first song. It's
Yes.
funny. I won't share that song with anyone though, but I know it was in 1969. So I was either 10 or 11. And actually, that one was actually co-written by a cousin of mine who I call my brother. We grew up like born 17 days apart. My cousin Nikki, and it was a song called "The Day the Sun Blew Up." Absolutely ridiculous, but not to I guess a 10-year-old kid. But when you get older and you're playing the song, I said, well, that song makes no sense at all. So, but the first song that I wrote was probably at the age of 10.
And tell me the title again.
It was called "The Day the Sun Blew Up."
Listen, for a kid, that's a cool title. I'm sorry. All right.
But yeah, so that was the first song I wrote. But then, as I got a little older and you're in school and you're meeting this one and that one and someone else wants to play. And so then you start to branch out a little bit.
Okay, very cool. So let's give everybody a treat. We'll play one of your songs and then we'll talk about this song, okay?
Okay.
Here we go.
Ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells. Ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells. I heard the bells on Christmas Eve. They sweetly rang, reminding me of the season's true meaning. I heard the bells. And they rang, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells. I heard the bells on Christmas morn. They filled the air with angelic song. For on this day a Savior was born. I heard the bells. And they rang, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells. I heard the bells on Christmas Day. They filled my heart with love and praise. For he who came to light the way. I heard the bells. And they rang, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells. I heard the bells on Christmas night. It fills my soul, turns the darkness bright. I give my all to the one true light. I heard the bells. And they rang, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells, ding dong, ring-a-ling-a-ling. I heard the bells, ding dong,
That's beautiful. You got my producer dancing back there, okay? So tell us about that song.
Okay, well that's it was breaking up a little bit, but I haven't
No,
heard
no,
that.
not to everyone out there. You're going to hear it differently than they
Yeah, no, no,
will.
I'm saying it was breaking up a little bit, and I haven't heard that song in a while. But
Oh,
that song, basically, it's got a lot of like life into it, as far as as far as me, because a lot of it, growing up in Brooklyn, a lot of that's true. I mean, you heard the bells on the morning or Christmas morning, and it's sort of like I was remembering a lot of things that I experienced during Christmases and stuff like that. But um, that and as far as the style of it, um, my love for oldies and doo-wop, so that's why it's on that tone. But yeah, but it's me growing up. I heard them in the morning, the bells, and then uh, all the things that there's other songs that I have too. But it's just the things like what's important to me, like God and family. So it was sort of like that, and I basically it was all about the church bells is what made me think of that.
now,
But
what year about was that written? Do you remember about?
wow, yeah, that's a new song. Well, not new song, but I'm gonna guess it's about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the other thing is when you asked me about when I started writing, and I told you about that ridiculous song. My songwriting, I'm not good at taking compliments. Never was. Not for any. I don't want to hear it. Not like I'm looking for it. But I do know that my songwriting has substantially gotten better over the years, and there is somebody probably directly responsible for my songwriting getting better. So, uh, if you don't mind, I'd like to mention him.
Come on.
He was the fella that produced all my music, and he unfortunately passed away, I think, 3 years ago. And he was one phenomenal human being. I mean, musicianship.
What was his name?
His name was Ron Zabraki,
Okay.
and give me a minute, but special to me.
Yeah, rest in peace, sir. Yes.
Yeah, and I had a lot of nicknames for the guy. I actually called him Maestro, and the other name I had for him was I used to call him Ronnie and the Ronettes,
Oh, that's
because
funny.
because when you hear these songs that you're hearing and you hear the background vocals, it's all him. It's all him. I used to. You ever see a movie called Eddie and the Cruisers?
Oh, of course. I think
Okay,
everybody
okay.
has.
Well, there was a line in there. I guess I'm not the only one that stole it, but I used to always look at Ronnie and I used to tell him. He says, "Hey, you know what? Your songwriting's getting good. I'm really proud of you." He used to tell him and stuff like that. I said, I used to go like this, tell him words and music, and he used to arrange everything. I used to tell him. He says I was the easiest guy for him to work with. He he told me he treated me better than he treated his brother because his brother was a pain in the neck. But I was easy. Or what do you think we should do with the song? And I used to tell him, "You're producing it. Do what you want. I'll sing it." And but it was my music. But I mean, he arranged everything. I used to tell him, "You make things go from to wow. Did I write that?" So
Wow.
he was an amazing person, and
That's
he's
beautiful.
dearly missed.
Rest in peace, sir. Wow, that's beautiful. Wow. Okay. So now, um, you have a home studio. Is that where you record your songs and stuff?
Oh well, that's why I'm intending to do it now. But I do have, thank goodness, because of him pushing me, I have some things in the can, I guess,
Okay.
releasable.
Okay.
So
Good.
I have about maybe 3 projects that I'm looking to release in the future.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Okay, so producer, let's play a second song. And oh, before we do, just so you know, you will hear it choppy, but they will hear it perfect out there.
Yeah.
So, yep, and then we'll talk about this song, Victor. Okay, here we go.
I remember the taste of your lips, how it felt the night we first kissed. I still see the sparkle in your eyes. I remember the first time we talked, where we went when we took our first walk. Every single thing about that night. 20 years have passed us by, still seems like yesterday. When I lost myself inside your eyes. Nowhere would I rather be than where I am today, with you by my side. I remember the touch of your hand, the song playing when you and I danced. The smell of your hair still fills my mind. I remember the stars and the moonlight, how it all felt so right. Wouldn't change a thing about my life. 20 years have passed us by, still seems like yesterday. When I lost myself inside your eyes. Nowhere would I rather be than where I am today, with you by my side. Come and place your hand inside mine. Let us steal a moment in time. I wanna see that sparkle in your eyes. How I long to taste your sweet lips, just like the night we had our first kiss. A love like ours forever never dies. I promise to love you forever, until the end of time. I promise to love you forever. A love like ours forever never dies. I promise to love you forever, until the end of time. I promise to love you forever. A love like ours forever never dies. I remember the taste of your lips, how it felt the night we first kissed. I still see the sparkle in your eyes.
All right, tell us about that pretty song.
Oh, that's another one that's it's a little heavy. I wanted to write a song that people can relate to, whether whatever side of the relationship you're on. And I was sitting there thinking, and I started to think about my mother and father's relationship. And I basically wrote that. They've had, well, the ups and downs, everybody does. But I wrote that because in them I saw a love that was always there, always strong. I mean, the way she always looked at my father and he looked at her, and may they both rest in peace. But it was, I said, that's what everybody should strive for. And so that's where that song actually came from,
Oh, that's beautiful.
from them.
That's beautiful.
And
So,
again, that by the way, that guitar lead playing on that guitar was again Ron Zabrocki. I just,
that's so cool. That's
but
beautiful. So, Victor, when you write songs, you probably got a couple different answers for this question, because I'm a poet.
mhm.
So, I like to ask songwriters this question: what usually comes first? Just all of a sudden, music pops into your head, or the words to something, or an idea? What usually comes first?
Wow. The answer to that is probably not what you want to hear, but it's all of the above because
Yes, that's good.
there's times where there's a melody in my head and I have to immediately write it down because if you don't and you lose it, then I'm
Yep,
upset with myself.
yep.
But sometimes it's just a melody. Sometimes a line will be in my head, and from that line develops a song. So it varies from moment to moment and situations as well. I could hear something. I mean, someone can be talking in a conversation. If you digress off of whatever, turn a little bit off. I wrote a song back in, I can't remember, it was 93-ish or 4. My mother passed away and was not a very good time in my life. And I was picked up my wife from work and my cousin, I was driving them home. It was a craft store. And they're talking about how they're going to decorate for the holidays. And we're going to do this and we're going to do that. And we're going to set the table. And I got home and it wasn't a good night. And I'm sitting there and I'm talking to God. I'm saying, can you give me something? Because I was really hurting about losing my mother. And I came up with a song called Set the Table, which is about going back home to God. So it can come from anything. That song, which one of my friends says you wish that he wrote it, came from a simple conversation about decorating the table, but
Oh,
it turned into a meaning of going home to God.
that's
So songs can
beautiful.
come to me at any time, at any point, and I'm thankful for them, and I hope they don't never dry up. But I have really no concrete answer for that because they just come.
No, that is a concrete answer. I love that answer. That's great because you're honest. I mean, that's brilliant. You know, I like that it's not, oh, I put words first no, that was a great answer. I remember, I always keep a pad and a pencil with me in the car, a pad and a pen, because one day I'm driving and all of a sudden this line popped into my head. I can't even tell you, Victor, how, what, where, why, nothing. It was brilliant though. And I was like, oh my gosh, I pulled over and I wrote it down and I wrote a poem that night about it. And so I get it, you know what I mean? I think that stuff is really cool and very creative. So, very good. So now, doo-wop. Let's talk about that a little bit with you because you're young for doo-wop.
Oh, I
Okay?
don't know. I'm 66,
Okay, you're 66, but hold that thought. So listen to me. So what year were you born?
1958.
Okay, so you were born when all this doo-wop was out.
Yeah, I
So
guess. Yeah.
you're young for doo-wop. Just
Hmm.
like me, I'm young for oldies. I always say I was born too late. I'm an oldies doo-wop Elvis girl. You can't take
Yeah.
the rock out of me. I love Led
Yeah.
Zeppelin, Foreigner. I mean, I've been to all those concerts. But I always say I was born too late. So doo-wop for you, like, do you remember, like, you know, that moment when you were like, this is it?
Yeah, you know what? I actually, I think I do. I have another cousin, again, rest in peace, my cousin John. And when I was young, he used to babysit me when my parents went out. Came over to the house one day with an album. And I try to remember the name of the album. I think it was called Rumble in the Bronx or something. Well, it was a guy on the cover, I think, in a leather jacket. And he left that there. I played the album, and I think on that album was songs by, oh, I can't remember who, but one of the songs was Castle in the Sky.
Oh, okay.
And so it was, and that was my first introduction to the oldies, the doo-wops, and I fell in love right then and there. And I never gave him back the album either,
That's great.
but so that was it. And I
Okay.
was a little kid, and that was the first thing.
See, that's amazing because again, you are very young for doo-wop, and that's beautiful. It's up to us to keep all this music alive and out there because I don't ever want it to stop ever. You
No, me
know,
and you both.
that's real music. It's amazing. So now, do you ever sing a cappella?
Uh, I have a, uh, I think it's because of my deafness. I tend to like stray off.
Okay.
So acapella, I always wanted to be in an acapella group,
Oh,
but unfortunately, when I was growing up, and you said about the times,
yeah.
I wanted it, but whenever I ran into a musician friend or something like that, I want to sing. I believe, and they want to sing "She Loves You," yeah, yeah. You know, I mean, so
Right.
it was a different thing. I can never coordinate, get it
Right.
together. I did start to at one point, but life takes turns, and so But yeah, I always wanted some of my songs. I wish I could do a cappella. I would love to be able to, get a few people together and record. I was actually working on a CD when my friend passed away, oldies doo-wop, and never finished it. But I'm a couple of songs short, and I said, well, I'll do them a cappella. But you got to find people that
Right.
will sing and do it with you.
So
But yeah, but it's a passion. A cappella, it's amazing
it's
when you
amazing.
hear the
It's
voices blend.
amazing. You know, I'm young, a little younger than you. I'm 60, 63, right? And let me tell you, I always say to singers, okay, give me some acapella. And they're like, what? Wait, huh? What? Listen, if you are really, truly a good singer, you could do it. You know what I mean? Like, acapella showed the talent back then,
Yeah.
on the street corners, them just singing, no music. No, that's brilliant. It's
Well,
incredible.
I did do that on the corners,
Okay, that's
but
pretty cool.
yeah, with a couple of guys. I mean, but it wasn't,
Yeah,
it
yeah.
wasn't going anywhere. There was like five of us, but only two of us can really hold
Yeah.
a note.
No, but I
So
mean like back then. I'm just
yeah,
talking about like real music from back then. That was
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Amazing. Now,
yeah. In fact,
go ahead.
just to tell you something, when I performed over the years with a few groups that I was in, I had a tendency to always put, uh, if I was in a band or we were something, I always stood to the left of everybody because if I had someone on my left side and I'm hearing him singing, I'm going to his note. So the deafness was actually, I guess, a help because I put them on this side, I don't hear them, and I'm just singing what I got to sing.
Oh,
So I
wow.
guess, it did work out in a way.
Wow. Okay, so that was amazing what you just said. Okay. Very cool. So where did you grow up?
Uh, East New York, Brooklyn.
Yeah, and where do you live now?
I'm living in Florida in Riverview.
And you had some issues with the storm?
Yeah, we had some had it real bad. We had some issues ourselves.
All
Yeah,
right.
we had some damage to the house, but
Okay.
everybody's okay.
Okay, okay. All right. Well, thank God you're okay. All right. Do you miss Brooklyn? It's not the same anymore, though.
I miss what I lived.
Yes.
Don't. I mean, if people say, "Can you go back?" I said, "No, you can't go back because it's not the same.
Nope.
It's never going to be the same.
Nope.
People will never experience ever in the rest of the hit world. Never going to experience what I did.
Nope.
It
I
it's
agree.
just was an amazing time.
I agree.
I could talk to you for hours just about my youth, but that's something different.
Well,
It's
I grew up, Victor, in Long Island City, New York, Queens. My dad moved us to New Jersey when I was 12, so I, it was incredible. And I've been back a few times.
Mhm.
I used to go back all the time when I was younger because a lot of family was still around. But I went back recently, pre-COVID, and I got to tell you, I just wanted to get out of there. I went to my
Yeah.
I got a photo of me standing in front of my apartment building. My dad owned it at the time, and I was like, let me get out of here.
Mhm.
It's very different. So
Yeah,
now,
so
no, go ahead.
I know. I mean, like when I was growing up, uh, the mothers threw you out in the street. You
Yeah,
come in when they call you,
that's right.
and that
They
was
hung
it.
out the windows. My
Yeah, no,
my aunt lived upstairs. My grandmother downstairs. My other aunt across the street. They would hang out the windows with their pillows on their windowsills, talking, watching us play. It was incredible.
yeah. Everybody says the same thing, but we weren't rich, but we didn't know it.
We
I
didn't
mean,
we didn't know it either.
we had so many things we did outside. From you couldn't a can from the garbage pail became kick the can.
Yes.
Your mother's broom became stickball. I mean, there was always something going on, and you didn't need anything, but you had everything.
I said to someone recently, we were poor and didn't even know it.
Hmm.
I said that recently. So
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
amazing times, never getting back. So now, producer, let's play a third one, and then Victor will talk about your third song.
Okay.
shots of straight whiskey. When you came walking in the door, your eyes fixed straight on me. It was a matter of time before you came over to the bar and sat right down. And I could tell by the way you looked at me that you were out to paint the town. Well, one thing led to another and we were dancing on the floor. You pulled me close and held me tight, said you wanted something more. You wrapped your arms around my neck and I whispered in your ear, I'll give you something to remember me by if you got the time, my dear. But you've got to give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want to be with me. Show me that you want me, tell me that you need me, and you just might get lucky. If loving's what you're looking for, I can make you feel alright. You gotta give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want me tonight. We headed out the bar, got in my car and drove away. You snuggled up real close to me, put your hand there on my leg. You told me you were ready, don't let no time slip away. I turned and looked right in your eye, but this is all I'd say. You've got to give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want to be with me. Show me that you want me, tell me that you need me, and you just might get lucky. If love is what you're looking for, I can make you feel alright. You gotta give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want me tonight. Myself another drink of whiskey short and neat. I asked her if she wanted one, and then she blew my mind when she stood up and looked at me and said, son, don't waste my time. She said, you gotta give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you wanna be with me. Show me that you want me, tell me that you need me, and you just might get lucky. If loving's what you're looking for, I can make you feel alright. You gotta give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want me tonight. If loving's what you're looking for, I can make you feel alright. You gotta give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want me tonight. You gotta give a little, take a little, push a little, pull a little if you want me tonight.
That song, that's a really cool song. Come on.
That song actually, I used to hang out at this bar every once in a while with one of my close friends, and you watch the people coming in and out of there, and you see guys trying to pick up girls, and who's getting lucky, who's not. Most times they weren't. And I was sitting one day with my guitar, and I was like, didn't have any kind of ideas, nothing like that. But I don't know where, give a little, take a little, popped in my head. And then I started thinking about like, what's every guy's dream? And that song started to come out. But then as I was writing the song, I'm saying to myself, yeah, but you know what? What if every guy's dream could either turn into something he didn't expect, maybe a nightmare, or maybe something even better? And that's why it switched around, and the girl at the end is saying, well, no. If you want it, here I am. So like she twisted the whole story on him. But that came from actually hanging out with a friend of mine.
That's very cool.
Initially, the idea, not the
Right.
song. The song came a little later.
That's a cool song, okay? I love the beats to your songs, you know? It makes you want to like get up and dance and just have fun,
Thank you.
you know?
I got a lot of slow songs, so I've been told, is that all you write? Because I put a lot of stuff on Facebook. Well, when the pandemic started, I put up a song, and then I put up a few, and then someone said, well, where's the songs? I said, well, I don't know. I mean, so I put up songs on Facebook a lot, and a lot of them are like very slowish and heartbreaking songs. And
Okay.
they tell me, "Oh, you have a lot of heartbreak in your life." I says, "I couldn't possibly have that much heartbreak in my life. I write songs sometimes, like you said. I mean, they're just ideas, or I write to write. I love to write, and in fact, I have an exercise for writing. I don't know what other people do, but you get blockage. So what I'll do is from time to time, I'll tell somebody, quick, give me a title. And what do you mean give you a title? Give me a title. And I'll make somebody give me a title. And then I'll sit down and I'll write a song from that title alone. And it's like an exercise to try and wake up the juices to, start flowing again. So, I mean, that's just something that I do. But yeah, no, I love to write. I've written, I can't even count how many songs I've written. But
Very cool. So now, do you ever sing covers?
no.
Okay.
Okay. Well, in the house when I'm alone, I'll pick up my guitar or something, and I'll fool around a little bit. I'll pick up and I'll play "Teenager in Love" or something. But I kind of stick to my songs only. There's a lot of reasons why I do that. One of it was when I was performing somewhere once. Uh, Someone came up to me and says, I don't remember what the song was, so don't quote me on that. But I'll just go with, all right, we'll say Larry Chance.
Okay.
I'm just pull it out of the
Right,
air.
right.
And let's say I did "I Believe." Someone came over me later after the show and says, "Well, you don't think you're Larry Chance, do you?" So I said to myself, "Absolutely not." I told him. But then I said to myself, you know what? I'm sticking to my music, because if you like my music, that's good. If you don't, I understand. But if you don't like it, you don't like me. You don't like me thinking that I'm trying to be someone else. So that's when I started just doing strictly my own music. Because, criticism's good. You can't grow without it. But if you don't like me, for me, everybody's got different tastes. There's a lot of things I don't like. But if you don't like me because you think I'm trying to be someone else, that was a little tough. So I started just doing all my own stuff.
So I'm gonna give you my opinion. Take it, leave it, whatever. It's okay. Um, that person was nothing but rude and ridiculous. Okay, and that wasn't constructive criticism. That was being obnoxious. Okay, because I interview legend after legend. I interview newcomers. I live in, right? Listen, I've never gone to a show or a concert and thought the person singing someone else's song, they were trying to be that person. Say they didn't do it great, it was still good. It's still
Mm.
entertaining. Who cares? Okay? No, you're not going to be Larry Chance, and nor would anyone else be Larry Chance. Elvis
No.
wasn't Larry Chance. Larry Chance wasn't Elvis. I mean, it's insane to
Mm.
say that to someone.
Yeah.
My,
Well.
but wait, my advice to you is this: don't let that stop you if you want to do eventually sing covers. Don't let that idiot stop you from doing that, okay? That's my advice. So there you have it. Um, so now, Victor, it's time for me to read a poem out of my book.
Okay.
And the reason why I like to read this poem when I do singers and entertainers is because I want people to understand that they also have something to offer, okay? Because people love these shows and they're like, I wish I could sing like that person, like your guest. I wish I could write like your guest. And I want everybody out there to know that I wrote this poem for you if you are questioning your self worth, if you have doubt, if you feel like you have nothing to offer, you're wrong. So please listen to every word of this poem I wrote. It's called Utilizing Gifts and Talents. We are born with talents, we are born with drive, with different gifts to help us thrive. I knew early on I was born to draw and paint, to also write poetry, and to talk without restraint. Our gifts and talents should all be used, God's gift to us, not be abused. We can go far in life for sure, using our gifts to go on tour. All our talents should be used to create ourselves and more, but then our job's to share them, to even up the score. You see, in life, what's needed is not just for ourselves. Once our gifts are mastered, take them off the shelves. A living we can make by spreading them around, not just for the money, but to spread a peaceful sound. Don't take for granted the gifts you're given. Go out and spread the joy. Our gifts are not to be held back for us to self destroy. Put your efforts forth. Do not hesitate. All your talents, my friend, are never second rate. Never hold them back, or you will surely die. Maybe not in body, but your soul will cry. Our gifts were made to share, our talents made to soar. Go through life enlightened, and then you can roar. Be proud of who you are. Be happy you're alive. Once again, my friend, your gifts will help you thrive. By putting efforts forth, not keeping them at bay, your name, Victor Varricchio, baby, will live forever, forever and a day. So go through life excited for what you sure can give. To yourself and others is our reason to live. Our grave will be quite lonely, but our legacy lives on. So make sure people smile with the breaking dawn. Victor, that's what you're doing with your music. You're making people smile. So never, ever stop.
No, that's a beautiful poem.
Thank you.
And you're right. I tell that to some people when it's, what are you doing? You're 66 years old. So, you know what? Would you want to put the dirt on me now? I said, this is my passion. I love music, and I'm going to keep doing it until I can't do it. That's just the way it is. I mean, like I said, I mean, I'll play, sing, record until I don't know who I am. But
Victor, I interviewed a woman years ago from town, okay, who was in her 80s, who wrote her first book. She wrote her second one almost 90. She passed away after that. I got to interview her twice. So when people say stuff like that, I just tune them out.
because
Just
she
tune them
left
out.
something behind.
You know,
That's
that's right. It's amazing. So now, before we play your final song, I want to ask you a couple more questions, and then we'll play your final song. So, do you have any cover songs that you absolutely love and would love to be able to sing?
Well, I mean, I've done them. I mean,
No, but do you have any like that you're like, these are really a couple of my favorite cover songs that I love singing or would
okay,
love to?
then we'll have to probably go back to, I guess, like 62-ish.
Okay.
Dion and the Belmonts, Teenager in Love.
There you go. Yes.
One of my favorite songs.
Okay.
I like Dion. Run Around Sue is another one of my favorite songs.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm there's Dion there. Tony, I'm gonna say his name wrong. If he's watching this at all, Tony P. I'll say Tony P. Rosemary, love that song.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few songs, and I do them in my house. I mean, like
Okay.
the guitar's here. Like if I'm
Okay,
writing.
but listen, here's my challenge.
Okay.
Okay. I understand you do them in your house. It's beautiful. And keep doing them in your house. Give it a shot. Record one or two of them. And then let me know when, send them to me. Because 2025, my door is open for you.
Okay.
Okay?
I appreciate that very much, and I'll do so.
There's a challenge, baby. I've challenged so many singers and writers, and not only have they done it, we did the interviews. Okay, so, okay?
Yes.
There you go.
You got.
So now, producer, let's play our final song, and then Victor, we will talk about it.
Okay.
Fall in love with you, yeah. Fall in love with you, yeah.
I sit and reminisce when we were in high school. You walked into the prom, and that's when I first knew this was the night I fell in love with you.
Fell in love with you, yeah.
I looked into your eyes and held you oh so tight, and under the moonlight we danced all through the night. This was the night I fell in love with you.
Victor, now you met my producer, Ruben. That's why we keep him behind the scenes. So tell us about this great song.
Well, that song actually doesn't have too much of anything really to say about it. I never really went to my prom, but when I was writing that song, it was one of those like what if songs. What if you did go to the prom? What if you met that someone special? What if there's something developed and you had that life? So that's where that came from more than anything else. So there was nothing really personal to it, except for the fact where, the what if, what if,
Okay.
you look back, but that's where that was.
Beautiful. You know why I love your writing? Because you're right. You didn't have to experience it, but you're still great at writing about it. That's what's incredible about the talent. God gave you a great gift as well for writing. And, when we're creative, our minds just take off. And, that's giving God back a gift.
Yeah.
He gave it to us, and we're like saying, thank you, God. And I that's how I feel. I really honestly feel that way because
Well, if you have, you got to use it.
you got to use it, or it's almost like you're not appreciating what God gave you, right?
Yeah.
So that's beautiful, Victor. So we have a few more minutes left. I don't want you to get off thinking, oh, she forgot to ask me this, or I forgot to talk about this, or I wanted to say this. Can people get your music? Do you sell your music?
I have I got 2 albums out there streaming on some sites. I don't know, I guess whatever's out there, Amazon. I could probably double check because it's been crazy for the last few years. I haven't really done much. But yeah, there are, I can show you, if it's right here, I can show you what it is. This was the first thing that I released.
Oh, that's so cool. Yes.
Yeah, so that was the first one. That's the one that has Give a Little, Take a Little on it.
Okay.
And then I had this one out there. But if you go, I guess, on whatever sites there are, I mean, it's all over the place. I even, I think it's Here Now is one of the places that puts my music up. And in fact, I wrote a song. My father once asked me, hey, I want you to write a song in Italian. I said, I don't speak Italian. But for him, I did it. And I actually had that somewhere in Italy. I don't know where. And I don't even know if anybody even heard it or bought it. But yeah, so no, I like to write. And if you give me a challenge, I'm going to take it.
Well, I gave you a challenge.
Yeah, but yeah, so that they can get it there. And as far as what else I got going, I'm trying probably to look into a website so I can put the music there. I kind of still believe in CDs, even though I know nobody does. You find someone my age or older, and they want to hear something, they don't maybe know how to stream or do it. So I'm looking, if I have time. I was working on a Christmas CD, if I can get it out. I don't know if I will. That song you played earlier would be on it. It's about maybe 15 or 16 songs. And also, when my producer passed away, we were working on a project and we recorded 8 songs. So that's probably in the future. And I had one other CD we did. And also, off the music for a second, I wrote a musical play, and I'm trying to see if I can get that out there right now. It's about 14 songs. The name of the thing is called actually Take Me Back to Brooklyn.
Right.
So
that's what we titled this song. That's what we titled
I got a play that I wrote, and I'm really, now that, and again, so many people can watch this and they'll say, well, that's my story. That was probably in the back of my head, my intention, because when you come from that period of time and you come from, at least for me in Brooklyn, that was everybody's story. Everybody lived it. So the music is mine, but the story belongs to everyone. Everybody went through it. So I'm working on getting that out there somewhere. And if I can get it put on stage, then my intention is to film it and maybe put it up on YouTube or something like that, so they can see it. And I was also working on another play, which still not even fully developed. But and when my producer passed away, together we were working on a screenplay for a movie, and that's about halfway written. But then when he passed away, I sort of like put it to the side. I lost interest in it. But so I have some things going on,
Okay.
and so yeah, and I'm constantly writing. So I mean, it's
Okay, good.
if I turn the screen around, you see papers all over the place of like songs, and
Right.
it's just what I do. And I mean, the first thing ever, if you got another minute, the first thing that I ever recorded shows you how old I am. You know what it was? Cassette.
I knew you were going to grab that because I grew up with them too. Yes.
Cassette. And it was that's the thing that I wrote that was the Christian CD that or cassette. I put that together. That's when I met my producer. And funny story is, my aunt says, "I want you to come with me to church." I said, "Okay, fine." So why want me to come with you to church? You got to meet somebody. It reminds me of you. Reminds me her of me. I get to church, and what reminded her of me was there was a man playing up in the loft and for the church, for the service, who had I had long hair at the time. I had the hair down my back.
Yeah.
Who had long hair and was singing. And because he had long hair and was singing, it was me. And he's the one that introduced me. That's Mike Zabraki. And he introduced me to his brother Ron. And real quickly, I went to see him and show him my music. And I said, well, you know what? I want to get his opinion. You know, he's well known and everything. I play him some songs. He's loving everything. Everything. I must have played him about 10, 12 songs. And I'm saying to myself, okay, this guy's, nah. That's what this guy's about. And then I said, a couple more songs, I'm out of here. I got to the next song and I played, and he's holding it up and he's waving it and he's smiling. So now I think he's loving that one too. So I'm smiling. He goes, what are you smiling for? It's a WB. I said, WB, what's that? He goes, wastebasket, and he threw it in the trash. I'm telling you, no, really. I reached over to shake his hand. He says, why you want to shake my hand? I said, because now I know you're an honest man.
Yeah.
And we were together ever since, like over 30 years, recording and being a...
That's cool. That's a cool story. That's a cool story. So, Victor, I want to thank you so much for honoring me with this interview. This was so cool. You're a great guy, inside and out, and your music is amazing, and your songwriting is off the frickin' charts, and that's coming from a writer and a poet. And I'm telling you,
you don't know how much that means to me.
but I mean it. Listen, I don't blow smoke up people's butts. I'll say, oh, it's really good. But I'm telling you, your songwriting is off the charts. All right? So, listen, I can't
Oh,
really...
can I tell you one quick thing?
Go ahead.
When you ask me about influences, see, because, you get a little,
Okay.
you got short amount. There is some man that influenced me a great deal when I was a little kid.
Okay.
That was a man who could sing with the best of them, played the piano with the best of them, did it with one arm. He was missing a hand.
Okay.
My Uncle Sal. My Uncle
Oh.
Sal was an amazing, amazing talent.
Oh.
When he would play down the basement in Brooklyn, people, wherever they were, would stop what they were doing just to go there to listen to him play and sing. That was the first one.
That's beautiful.
I just thought of that.
That's beautiful. And he's gone, obviously.
Yeah.
Rest in peace,
Unfortunately,
Uncle
they're all
Sal.
leaving us.
Yep. Rest in peace, Uncle Sal. Good job.
Thank you.
So Victor, the challenge is on. You know what I asked of you. I'm hoping you do it. This was a great interview. I want to thank you so much. I want to let everybody out there listening to please share this show. The audio will also be on iHeartRadio next week. It'll either be Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'll let you know the time and the day, and you'll have that ad. And as far as I'm concerned, I think we've covered it all. I will give you all of 3 minutes if there's anything else you'd like to close with.
Well, I don't know. I mean, that just about does it. I guess I just want to thank you,
You're welcome.
really, from my heart, because this was, I would like to thank someone. Tony.
Oh, yes.
Tony, amazing man. He saw my song, wrote an interview on Facebook. We started communicating on Messenger. He set me up for this with you, and he also invited me to Jersey, to Parsippany, to sing. But unfortunately, I took a fall, and I'm still not. His Tony Castro, I believe, is it right?
Tony Castro, yes.
Yeah, amazing man. I mean, big heart. He didn't have to do any of that. So yeah, I'd like to give a little shout out to him.
That's right. I forgot. Tony, I want to thank you for this, for, introducing us as well. Tony was supposed to be here recently, but he had to cancel the show. We're going to reschedule that for 2025. Tony Castro, I love you, baby. I hung out with him at Let East this year. But yeah, he thinks you're amazing and said, Jared, you have to interview Victor. So
maybe I'll get there next year to be with you.
Maybe you can. I'm emceeing again. I emceed the last 2 years. All right. Very cool. So Victor, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Tony, thank you, darling, for introducing us. This was great. I had a blast. Producer, take us out.
Ladies and gentlemen, Geri Petito.
I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.
When you don't know just what to do.
Just what to do, just what to do.
If what you're feeling is really true.
It's really true, is it really true?
Just keep your ideas safe and sound.
Safe and sound, safe and sound.
That's exactly how change is found.
Change is found, change is found. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. And in time, this too shall pass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Geri Petito taught the class. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. Loves the answer, the greener grass. I'm not an addict, I'm just an ass. One day at a time, free at last.